Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today is a very special video because I will be featuring a guest, Severinas. He is currently top 1000 ladder. He's playing with a logbait deck. He is one of the best players in Lithuania, and I think he can talk about himself and the deck more. Take it from here.
Hello guys, I'm Severinas, as Hot Guy said. I'm known for playing logbait decks, last week I found a new deck, which is logbait 2.8 with Bump Tower, so it's actually a really quick cycle deck, and it's actually very effective in this meta. So in general, you have to keep an eye on your opponent's spells and make sure to always out-cycle them. So that's basically the main strategy. And then I'll talk a bit in the replay that will show about, the way how I deal against hard counters and so on.
Okay, I guess we can sync up.
I like to start with skeletons at the back, generally with this deck as it cycles quite quickly. Then I do sometimes the princess at the beginning of the game. So my opponent here decided to arrows my skeletons, not knowing yet that I had a princess. So I took this opportunity to pressure with my goblin barrel. I generally try to avoid hits from a baby dragon, so I decided to put a skeleton barrel to tank for it.
A quick question: how do you deal with the baby dragon? Do you try to protect the tower with the skeleton barrel or with a knight?
Yeah, exactly. So generally I try to put a knight, or if I don't have it, I put a skeleton barrel. In the worst case scenario, I do put a dart goblin. So here I see a Night Witch, Goblin Hut. I do have an idea that he's playing Golem, so I do have to be careful for him not to build a big push. So here I'll play a log. Unfortunately, the bats do get quite a lot of damage, but I think I defended it quite well. So I do also like to put a skeleton barrel on my opponent's goblin huts and so on, as it's actually quite effective to take them away. So in single elixir, I'll try to pressure quite a lot against golem, as you'll see, so that he can't get a huge elixir advantage. So I think here I'll put, yep.
I have a question. What is your basic 1-2 step combo to defend against the golem?
So first of all, if there's a golem coming in, I always put a bump tower. Then I put a skeleton barrel against any air supporting troops, and then try to put a dart goblin to take all the troops behind the golem away. I think we'll be able to see this in this game. So as you can see here, I baited out his arrows on defense and could put a really good goblin barrel, which took a lot of damage to his tower. So I also always try to protect my dart goblin with skeletons, knights, and so on. So here, once again, I baited out his arrows with princess and dart goblin, so my goblin barrel could get some damage on the tower. So here, as usually, I tank my dart goblin with a knight, and then here, first golem of the game. It's actually quite late because I put a lot of pressure on him. So here I log the goblin hut as it takes the spear goblins, and here he doesn't have enough elixir for the game. I think he didn't play it quite well, but I think I managed the matchup well enough.
And what would you do if an opponent played a golem first play in the back? Would you just rush the opposite side?
Exactly. I would most certainly put Goblin Barrel and Skeleton Barrel, as it's actually quite hard to defend because the Goblin Barrel will do quite a lot of damage if the opponent waits to put the Bear Barrel. However, if he puts it too early, then the Skeleton Barrel would do a lot of damage on the tower as well.
Okay, I think we can move on to the next match, yeah?
Yeah,
let's sync it the same way as before. ready to count?
3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so here I also like to put Skeleton Barrel at the bridge. It's also an effective way. So it's also, Skeleton Barrel is actually a good card against Goblin Hut, as the skeletons do a lot of damage to it. So against Goblin Huts, I always put Princess, sometimes in the same lane, sometimes in the other lane. It depends a lot of what deck the opponent plays. But right now, I don't know if he's playing Graveyard. Still looking for cards that he will play later. So
I have a question. If you have 2 barrels, the skeleton and the goblin barrel, in the starting hand, which one would you throw as a starting play?
So always the goblin barrel and then the skeleton barrel. Well, it actually depends, but at the beginning of the game, I never put those 2 barrels directly. So I only put them if I know my opponent doesn't have a log or a barbarian barrel. So here he put a nice tornado, which activated the king tower, and but we did still do a lot of damage. So against Graveyard, I really need to put a lot of pressure on my opponent. So here I cycle a log to put some damage and put pressure with skeleton barrel.
But why would you choose to throw a goblin barrel because if he has a tornado, he can activate the king tower? Or are you throwing it in a safe spot as a starting play?
Well, it actually depends. If I know he has tornado, I play it in the safe spot. But sometimes I just don't even do it because I know that even playing it in the safe spot, he does. Opponents are able to activate it. At this level, actually, it's not a safe spot for Goblin Barrel.
Okay.
So here in single elixir, now it's double elixir, but I'll try to keep up the pressure. So I once again outcycled the Barbarian Barrel. So here I protect my Dart Goblins with a Skeleton Barrel. I bait out his Barbarian Barrel, and now I'll pressure him. So I'll put Knight. No, okay, I log the Goblin Hut, and then now I put
Knight and the Goblin Barrel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So here once again he plays the Barbarian Barrel defensively. So I'll once again push after this defense. So I think I'll put Goblin Barrel and Skeleton Barrel. It's actually quite effective, as you can see, because he has no spells and it does get a lot of damage. He has to overcommit in defense. So usually here, so I'll tank the baby dragon with a knight, put the Dart Goblin behind the tower, and then log after a few seconds. So here he did a quite nice graveyard push, which did a lot of damage, and the knight as well did a lot of damage. But I'll try to outcycle his Barbarian Barrel. So here I put it normally, knowing that he has a Barbarian Barrel in his hands, and now I'll outcycle him. As you can see, I play the skeletons. I put the Skeleton Barrel and the Goblin Barrel, and now it's going to do a lot of damage. He has to choose what to tornado, and as you can see, it's very effective. Now I'll put again once more a Dark Goblin, a Knight, and so on. And I think this is a nice game. So now he'll have to tornado either one or the other, and that's game.
Really well played. It's worth mentioning that you put the Dark Goblin behind the King Tower because they can poison it right away and they might accidentally activate the King Tower.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's watch the last replay. Let's sync again. And this time we will be facing a Hog Rider Earthquake deck.
Yeah, so 3, 2, 1.
Go.
So here I like to play the Goblin Barrel like this. So I see that he has mini pack. This could mean a lot of things because it's actually a really meta deck, meta card, sorry. So I'll protect my Dark Goblin with skeletons, then put pressure. So he plays a log. This means that I can put pressure on him. So he's forced to play the Goblin Hut to defend my Skeleton Barrel in order not to take too much damage. So I put my Princess in the opposite lane, and knowing that he played his log already, I'll play the Goblin Barrel. Now here I'll log the Firecracker and the Goblin Hut. So he did a nice push here, so I'll put a Knight in order not to get too much damage on my tower. So he has a log, and I'll try to bait it out. No, I'll not. So I'll try to activate my King Tower with skeletons if he doesn't play anything in front of a Firecracker. So it was a success. It's actually really good as it helps taking down the hog. So he has log in hand, so I put a normal barrel, and now I put a skeleton barrel. He will put his goblin hut once again, and the skeleton barrel is actually really good against the goblin hut. So I'll put princess in the opposite lane, and this will take care of a goblin hut quite well. Here, always bomb tower for the hog rider. I'll log the firecracker and the goblin hut.
Real nice log value.
So he has, yeah, it took down all the goblins and the firecracker. So here he's forced to play the log. So I put the goblin barrel. I put the skeletons high up to tank for the, not to tank, but to distract the mini P.E.K.K.A. So I prepare the bomb tower for a hog. He doesn't play it. So he once again goes with his goblin hut, knowing that he doesn't have his log right now. He'll be forced to play his mini P.E.K.K.A. and he has to choose. Yeah, that's an exact example. He has to choose which one to log. So he chose the goblin barrel. So now he got a lot of damage with a skeleton barrel. So now once again he doesn't have the log. So I'll put a skeleton barrel. I'll be forced to play something. I'll protect my princess with skeletons, and I'll take down his tower. And here I'll put once again the bomb tower high up to avoid the earthquake. So this is actually a hard matchup, but I played it quite well, putting a lot of pressure at the right moments.
Severinas said that he will play a live match for us, so he's already in game. Let's spectate him. He's probably cycling skeletons to cycle to his to one of his barrels and a log. I think we should see a barrel incoming or a knight to defend. Okay, no, goblin barrel, dark goblin instead. But now he cycled back to both of his barrels. The enemy doesn't have goblin barbarian barrel on cycle, so this was a good opportunity for him to pressure. The opponent still did a very nice job on defense. Unfortunately, he spent too much elixir, and opponent chose to kill the princess with the musketeer, but I think that Severinas will probably now push with barrels again. Yeah, the opponent has a barbarian barrel on cycle, but the death damage. Okay, the opponent chose to play the barbarians, and judging from the deck, I think we're up against a graveyard. Graveyard is quite a difficult matchup because we don't have a poison. Our best option for the graveyard is Dark Goblin, and if we don't have it in cycle or they poison the Dark Goblin, we're pretty much screwed. Again, the opponent didn't have a barbarian barrel in cycle, and Severinas used that to his advantage. We can see that he logs the remainder of the spear goblins, and both of the players will probably wait till double elixir and also accumulate elixir. If the opponent is starting a push, let's see how Severinas responds. He mirrors his play with a knight and a princess on the opposite lane. He mentioned that princess on the opposite lane is a good play because they can't get spell value on the tower that they want to push. And in this scenario, the opponent poisoned the tower that he is not pressuring. Unfortunately, the princess is in range of that musketeer, so she will die. And the opponent goes in with a graveyard, and Severinas uses that to pressure with a goblin barrel. Even though the Dark Goblin was locked on to the Ice Golem, Severinas did a really great job on defending that graveyard. He just played a very nice Goblin Barrel, and the opponent didn't manage to catch it. And all he needs is a log, which he just used now. And there isn't just enough time for opponent to destroy his tower. As you can see, this deck specializes in the cyclability, and you need to use that to your advantage to overwhelm your opponent. Thank you for watching, like and subscribe, bye.